President Biden welcoming Israeli President Isaac Herzog to the White House today, assuring America's longtime ally of the unbreakable and ironclad friendship between our two countries. But Biden's words, they draw a stark contrast in comparison to those from members of his own party.
I want you to know that we have been fighting to make it clear that Israel is a racist state, that the Palestinian people deserve self-determination and autonomy.
Congresswoman Jayapal now trying to walk back her remarks after 43 of her congressional colleagues publicly denounced her unacceptable comments. At least 5 progressive Dems still plan to boycott Herzog's speech tomorrow addressing a joint session of Congress.
Here now to react is House Foreign Affairs Committee member, the great French Hill. French, good to see you. So listen, oftentimes when comments like this are made, there's House action against that member. Is the House going to do anything in regard to Jayapal's comments on Israel?
Weren't they bad? How do we tolerate anti-Semitism right here in the halls of Congress? We don't tolerate it at the United Nations. We fight against it every step of the way around the world, but somehow when it rears its ugly head here, people look the other way. Well, we didn't today. We brought a resolution to the House floor that absolutely showed our determination to support our friendship and partnership with Israel that's stretching into nearly 8 decades. And unfortunately, some of those members of the squad voted no in support of Israel on the House floor today. It was a shameful day, and I'm sorry about it.
Well, Congressman, the Democrats have an anti-Semitism problem. We can't forget Ilhan Omar. This was back in 2019, saying that congressional support for Israel is, quote, all about the Benjamins. Or back in 2012, she tweeted, quote, Israel has hypnotized the world. May Allah awaken the people and help them see the evil doings of Israel. She, Rashida Tlaib, now Jayapal. Why isn't there more just vocal outrage toward these women and toward the overt, frequent anti-Semitism from this crew?
Well, you know, we have that whenever a Republican makes a critical mistake like that, but we just don't see that from the news media or from the talking, chattering head class here in Washington when a Democrat does it. But I think a rebuke on the House floor today by an overwhelming vote by their colleagues saying they're wrong, that we stand by Israel, we stand by the partnership, we stand by our strong ally in the Middle East, and we stand by religious liberty. And we're sorry that they feel that way, but I think they were taught a lesson today that they need to be speaking out against anti-Semitism. We don't speak out and tolerate Islamophobia, and we shouldn't tolerate anti-Semitism. And it's just another shameful day that I think we rebuked them on the House floor just a few minutes ago.
You know, it's almost universally Democrats who support the BDS movement, the boycott, divest, and sanction movement as well. And so this is a problem in the Democrat Party. But French, I want to move on with you because it's ESG month on Capitol Hill, which means House Republicans will spend the next few weeks holding hearings and voting on bills designated to send a clear message to the administration. Keep your progressive climate policies and agendas away from our retirement plans and out of our investing, which is really smart. So, Congressman, you're on the Financial Services Committee, the most important and powerful committee in the House, which I'm not biased on because I served with you there. You're hosting these hearings. What do you hope to get done?
Yeah, it's such an important question. House Republicans are on the side of retirees.
Yes.
House Republicans are on the side of labor union retirees, teachers in California, teachers in New York. We want managers of our investments for retirement to be focused on what? Maximizing returns so that we have a safe, healthy retirement. We don't want our corporations forced by liberal managers to try to get involved in the middle of politics. We want them making the best cars, the best widgets. We don't want them drug into the middle of these political debates, and that's what the far left is doing by trying to influence the proxy, that is, influence the vote on who gets elected to the board of directors. House Republicans stand against that. We've raised that issue, and we're going to continue to fight about that and against the Securities and Exchange Commission, which is acting more like the Securities and Environment Commission now with their insistence on mandates on American companies to make us less competitive to try to promote a Biden climate agenda.
Well, listen, French, there was a great member of Congress who was from Wisconsin who had a great bill on that very issue, and you guys have expanded it and done well with it. So kudos, well done.
I'll put his arm in a sling in the commercial break because he just hurt himself, patting himself on the back.
Sean Duffy was a great leader in Congress on this exact issue, and the legacy continues.
Boxing advisory bills. French Hill, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great to be with you.